welcome to Baltimore Collegetown Network's Virtual Industry Day series. My name is Madison Boris, and I am the Special Events Manager for Collegetown. As an organization, it is our mission to attract, engage, and retain college students to the Baltimore region. The Industry Day series is designed to serve as a connection between students and local employers and industry leaders. If you're watching this, I encourage you to connect with today's guest via social media or the contact information provided after the interview. I'm excited for today's conversation with local scientist and small business owner, founder of Fancy Free Hair and Skin, Iyonna Woods. Hi, Iyonna. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I am well.
Thank you so much for being here. I'm excited to chat with you today. I gave a little bit of your history in my one sentence bio, but I know you do so many things. Can you just give a little background about who you are and what you do?
Yes, of course. So I am Iyonna Woods, born and raised in Baltimore City, educated in Baltimore City, and I am by trade, I am a medical laboratory scientist. A medical laboratory scientist are those people who run all of the laboratory tests when you go and you get a specimen, or you get your blood drawn, you get your throat swabbed, you send a urine sample. A medical laboratory scientist is going to be the person that tests those bodily fluids for whatever the doctor orders. I am actually a medical laboratory scientist specialist in blood banking. As a specialist in blood banking, I learned how to manage a blood bank, and I learned a lot about how the immune system of red blood cells work. So your body has an immune system. You get a virus, a bacteria, a parasite, or anything that doesn't belong in the body recognizes it as foreign, makes antibodies. Antibodies attach to that foreign thing, and the body removes it. Well, your red blood cells have their own separate immune system. So if you are transfused or you're exposed to a foreign red cell by being pregnant, your body will recognize those red blood cells or platelets as foreign, make antibodies to them, attach to the red blood cells, and proceed to destroy them. My job was to make sure that when we got a patient who needed a transfusion, to see if they already had antibodies to red cells. If they did, we would figure out what those antibodies were, and then find blood that matched that patient. So that was a real quick synopsis of blood banking.
Important work. Jeez.
So how that relates to what I do now, in blood banking, we do manufacture. So some of our patients are really sick. So cancer patients receive transfusions. Mm-hmm. Sickle cell patients receive transfusions. Really small babies receive transfusions. And so we would have to manipulate blood products in order to make them work for the patient depending on what they need. So for a baby, we'd have to put it in a syringe, we'd have to irradiate it. Some patients would need to have their red blood cells washed, and it required a lot of sterile technique, manual manipulation, and oversight, of course, by the FDA. And so all of those things translate into manufacturing, and I use those things that I learned to manufacture hair and skin products.
Okay. Jump from stuff inside the body to outside. Okay.
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
And how long have you been in the small business world? When did you found your company?
So my business, I started selling the product that I was making in 2015.
Okay.
I graduated from University of Maryland at Baltimore, their Department of Medical and Research Technology, which is what you get your degree in when you become a medical laboratory scientist. I graduated from there in 2004. And I have been working in a blood bank from 2004 all the way up until 2017
Mhm.
when I retired from healthcare. I actually managed the blood bank at University of Maryland Medical System's Midtown campus for 7 years
Wow.
before I actually retired. So I've been in business for 5 years, and I have 13 years experience as a medical laboratory scientist.
Okay, cool. So tell me a little bit more about what you make and how you make it.
So I make hair and skin products. My best sellers are whipped shea butter and the aluminum-free deodorant, which is one of my best sellers. I basically come up with a formula, so I'll find products that I like,
Mhm.
and I will decide, okay, I like this about it, I don't like that about it, and I create a formula which can take the solid aluminum-free deodorant took me 21 trials before I got it right. So I make a formula, I try it, I use it for a little bit, and I make adjustments, try it, use it, and that process goes on and on until I say,
Yeah.
I got the right one. I can start now. I'll start sending it to family and friends, having them test it
Mhm.
and send it back, and then I package it, get labels created, market it, and I put it out for the public. Um, I do. How do I make them? I basically do prep work and then the actual manufacturing. So I'll spend a day, or when I had staff with coronavirus, I've been on my own because staff cannot come into the lab.
Right.
Create. Um, so I will prep everything, which means I will put all the ingredients together and then go sit it
Mhm.
and go sit it on a shelf or in the refrigerator so that when it's time to manufacture for the whipped shea butter, everything's already together. I just put it in the mixer and I mix and package. For the aluminum free deodorant, all of the oils are together. All I have to do is melt the oils, add the powders, and mix them well, package, let them cool, and so on and so forth. Um, so the manufacturing part is really not that difficult. It's the product development that takes time
Sure.
and a little bit of know-how. But
Lots
it's
of trial and error, it sounds
yeah.
like. Yeah, good, better, best. It's nice to have a network of trial testers out in the community, friends and family doing their work. I just wanted to wrap up. You mentioned it briefly, how things have shifted a little bit with the current
Mhm.
climate of COVID-19. How have you been able to react to stay-at-home orders and things like that?
So as a small business owner, um, and I sell product,
Hmm.
it cut out all of the events that I typically vend. So I would vend where I sell my products, and then I had speaking engagements where, it could range from talking to kids about science and different career paths you can have in the STEM fields, to talking to, women or small business owners and those kinds of things. So all of that stopped.
Right.
Um, and then I had staff here who would manufacture and fill orders. So now that my staff is no longer able to come in, I have to manufacture and fill orders on my own. And it's it's cool because I don't have anywhere to be anymore. So
Nothing
I'm
else to
just,
do.
I'm just like, okay, now I've shifted my priorities to, manufacturing, filling orders, updating the website, things like
Yeah. Wow. Well, it sounds like going from like a team of people to a one woman operation is real. It's just really remarkable, and I am so happy that you were able to carve out this time for a brief but informative chat. I feel like I learned so much about blood and but also skincare.
that.
Like we went seriously the inside to the outside of the body in a 10-minute conversation. I feel enlightened. I really appreciate your time, Iyonna, and I'm excited to share your insight with our audience.
Awesome. Thank you for having me.
See ya.
Bye.